warning before you listen. This epic is not for children, nor for the faint of heart. We retell the ancient Greek myths as they were born, unfiltered, unsoftened. Scenes of violence, curses, betrayals, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. Given the many conflicting versions of the Titan War, the events have been rebuilt to complete the missing pieces. Here, we tell the myth as it was meant to be told. Sources and references are listed in the episode description.
Chapter 99. Fire upon the ruins. Kronos divides his final dreams. When a throne has nothing left but its claws. It was neither morning nor night. It was something in between, a time born from the ash that comes before the great ignition. Kronos stood in the center of the hall. He did not sit. He did not breathe, as if even the air had turned against him. Then came the news. The armies of Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades had moved. They were advancing, carving a path toward the end. He did not shout, not at first. Instead, he grabbed an ancient dagger, drove it into the stone table before him, and with its blade, he began to draw the map of war. Silence fell. Atlas, Menoetius, Iapetus, Crius. They all stared at the map, not as a strategy, but as fate made visible, etched into rock. But silence does not last long around gods. Iapetus slammed his fist onto the table. "The sea," he growled. "It will write my name in blood, not in wave." Crius ran his hand across his neck, voice low and venomous. "The son of Tide will drown before he finishes his name. Let me extinguish him, like I once extinguished the moon."
Menoetius smiled, not with joy, but with the hunger of war.
"I don't want Hades bound. I want his body charred beyond recognition."
And Atlas? He didn't even glance at the map. He simply muttered, "I am the mountain, and those who approach will be buried beneath my shadow." Kronos smiled, thinly, wordlessly, then spoke in a voice like death, pulling up a chair. "In the sea, Iapetus, Crius, you are the waves that never learned to break. You will face the son of Tide and the falcon legion. I want the sea itself to choke on your wrath. On land, Atlas, Menoetius, you need no one to teach hell how to burn. Before you, Hades, with the Titanomachy, Briareus, and Cottus. I don't want a victory. I want the earth to regret that it was not born a grave. And in the sky, me. Zeus dares rise to meet me. Let him come. I'll show him how time is torn from the heart, how lightning can be strangled before it's even born." Then he raised the dagger again and plunged it into the heart of the table, marking the center of the battlefield. "This is not a war," he said. "This is a purge." Then it began, the rally. Legions poured out of the halls, weapons were sharpened, banners rose, and the ground itself began to quake as it never had before. The sky above his camp was no longer blue. It had turned to molten iron, as if rage had rewritten the face of heaven. Kronos stepped onto the platform, not as a king, but as the final chapter of a throne, ready to die. Behind him, all that remained of the Titans. Before him, an army who knew one truth: time will either break or break them. He declared, "This is not a war against my sons. It is a war against betrayal, born in the hour of my children's birth. You are not warriors. You are the truth, waiting to return. If we fall, history will not remember, because we will be erased, from pages, from memory, from breath. It's us, or the children of the traitor, those time won't bury. I will. And then he roared. A roar not of courage but of command. It tore through flesh, shook the mountains, split the plains, and awoke hatred from its slumber. Thus, the map was done. Execution began. Kronos had dealt the curse and unleashed the last of his dreams. The armies lined up, the sky twisted, the earth stopped waiting, and on that day, no banner was raised, only hatred marched forward on feet that never planned to return.
This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why. We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.